there the acropolis to see how big it is. And look, the seafront here behind me. So for you to have an idea about the dimensions of the city. Now, from that city, the only excavated part is this little spot in between of my figures.
Oh, wow.
You see that? Less than 5%. While Ephesus is excavated for more than 35%.
Why is that?
Because the Austrians in Turkey did a lot of work, spent a lot of money for that, and yeah, they did what you see today there, and it's really marvelous, and is an achievement of the Austrian Archaeological School. Now, this little spot here, which is only a part of the public section of the city, is reconstructed like this. The theater you see here is one of the biggest theaters of the ancient world, comparable only with the theater you have seen already in Ephesus, 19 to 23,000 seats. Very fine acoustics, all made of marble. Unfortunately, in Middle Ages was used as a marble quarry, and today we have only the foundation. Very full remains. Okay? So we are going to this area here to see the pavement where Erastus put his inscription.
Oh, yeah.
The city of Corinth at the time of the Apostle Paul had a population of about 250,000 free persons, plus as many as 400,000 slaves. It was by far the largest city in Greece. It was even larger than Athens. Now the reason for this is it was a great trade and commerce center because it was right on the Corinthian Isthmus that separates the Aegean Sea from the Adriatic Sea, which is all part of the Mediterranean Sea. And you'd have to travel by boat all the way around Greece to get to the other side, or you could go to Corinth, which had two harbors, one on the Aegean Sea called Centria, and on the Adriatic side, the other side, was Latium. And so what you'd do is you'd come to the harbor there in Corinth in the Aegean, unload all your stuff, and then take it by donkey or however to the other harbor on the other side of Corinth, and load it back into a ship, and you sail off. This was the most economical way to make it, instead of going all the way around Greece, just a shortcut through Corinth. And so there was many people in Corinth, a great commercial center. Now the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, was written by the Apostle Paul to the Christians here at Corinth in around 55 AD. Romans chapter 16 verse 24 says, Erastus, who is the city's director of public works. Bible critics said, oh, there's no such thing as Erastus. It's just a made-up word. There's no such person or name as that. Yet here in Corinth, his name is etched in stone, and we want to take a look at this now.
This is a famous inscription.
An inscription.
S-T-U-S, Erastus. Erastus. Then you see a dot there, is one of the places where the bronze is still preserved. It's a dot, and then we have the three letters P-R-O and another dot. This is a Latin abbreviation which means in return, for paying back. And then we have the word, the term aedilitate, aedilitate. Aedilitate comes from the Latin term edile, which is equivalent with the Greek term used by Apostle Paul, economos. You have economy in English. So economos and edile, they both mean steward and treasurer. And aedilitate means treasuryship. Yeah, his services as a treasurer. Then we have at the second line S dot, again we have dot where the bronze is preserved. ASP, yeah, S dot P dot means sui pecunium, is another Latin abbreviation which means on his own money. And then we have the word stravit, paved, strata, paved. So Erastus, in return of his aedileship, of his services to the city as a treasurer, on his own paved. Now, although this name is so rare that cannot be found in inscriptions and in the literature, in the Bible is mentioned not once, neither twice, but 3 times. 3 times. The first time is in Romans 16:23. So who is going to read? Yes, who is? Yeah.
Where's Pam?
Pam?
Where are you at?
Romans 16:23.
Okay, Romans 16. Yeah. Somebody can probably get to it faster than me here. Okay. My glasses. Okay, here we go. 23.
Yeah.
It says, Gaius, whose hospitality I and the whole church here enjoy, sends you his greetings. Erastus,
Yes.
who is the city's director of public works, and our brother, is that Quartus?
Yes.
That sent you their greeting.
Yes.
Now
The direct, thank you, yeah, is enough. In that translation, treasurer, edile, or economos in Greek, is translated the director of the public works. Is another translation telling, using treasurer, city treasurer? Yeah, do you have another translation in your Bible? In all your translations is
Mine is city treasurer.
city treasurer. City treasurer. Yeah, city treasurer is where this name found is Acts 19:22.
Okay. He sent 2 of his helpers, Timothy and Erastus, to Macedonia, where he stayed in the province of Asia a little longer.
Yes, thank you. Now, the word diakons, deacon means in Greek free will servant. A servant who is a free person, is not a slave, and is paid for his job, or not paid, but he's a free person, free will servant. Rare, we are closer to the truth if we accept that we have one person who was rich and who, for his own reasons, became the servant of the poor Jewish preacher. But the treasurer of Corinth was a person living in village, having himself slaves and servants.
2 Timothy 4:20.
Okay, it says, Erastus stayed in Corinth, and I left as a Trophimus, sick, and I left. Do your best to get here before winter.
Thank you. It's okay. Yeah, we know where it's mentioned. Now, here is the place where Apostle Paul, if there were 2 Erastus, would say 2 of them. The Apostle Paul speaks about the Erastus, the Corinthian Erastus, the well-known. Again, back. your photos, see the inscription, and we're going to see the signs we are here.
You see here the great hill or mountain or acropolis where a great temple to Aphrodite, the goddess of love, stood. And many worshipped by going up to the top in the temple, and there was 1,000 temple prostitutes, males and females, and they worshipped by prostitution in the Temple of Aphrodite. It was a great place of great immorality here in Corinth. Some were slaves in the temple. Some would offer a prayer request saying, Aphrodite, if you answer my prayers, I will be devoted to you as a prostitute for a year, or I'll bring such and such an offering to you.
That's where this inscription is right there.
There was many that went to the Temple of Aphrodite on the top of the hill. But there was also at least 12 other temples in the area. There was one for Asclepius, the god of healing. The great Temple of Apollo in the very center of the city. And here we can get another view. Up on the top of the mountain here was the Temple of Aphrodite, the goddess of love.
And still today in the European
and then we're going to take a look at the Temple of Apollo, which was down in the center of the city.
Caught committing adultery. The first thing they do to her is to cut her hair. I would like to remind you.
Here we have the Temple of Apollo, one of the oldest temples here in Corinth.
The Second World War. In both these two countries, all the ladies who had cooperated with the Nazi army.
We have a water fountain. Water was key to any city.
According to the Corinthian mind, the most famous prophet related with Corinth was also the area
ancient stone fountain in Corinth.
Almighty, which is not yet. So this rock spring here is considered to be a sacred spring related with the most important myths of the city, legends of the city, and was respected in the Corinthian scale here from time to time, black rock. So here I would like to read just one verse, 1 Corinthians 10:4.
This is the Bema seat, or judgment seat, that's mentioned in the Bible. If one had a dispute, you were brought before the Bema, and you were judged by the Roman governor that was in charge of that city or province. And then if they found you guilty, there was a post, a whipping post that you were chained to, and you were publicly whipped in front of everybody, in front of the Bema seat.
For their own use, and they changed the use according to their needs. So Bema during the Roman time was the grand staff for the Roman administration. Come to see that here, the hall. This place, this very place here, is a very important biblical site. Why? Because something we read in the book of Acts happens right here, where we are studying now. And that is not tradition, it's archaeology. So, let us open the book of Acts, chapter 18. And somebody of you like to read the first 18 verses. The first 18 verses of the 18th chapter describe the 18 months Apostle Paul.
This is where they were whipped in public before the Bema. And the whole side there. They were tied.
Oh Arno, kom eens kijken, want jij mist ook een heleboel. Kijk, je ziet eigenlijk bijna niks. Maar als je naar dit ziet, zie je gas.
You should have brought a tape recorder.
And there's still the marble roadway here, which Paul probably came through on.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
And he had lunch up here at the restaurant above.
Another part of the fountain here.